proper Irish whiskey from a proper Irish.
I was the person that came up with the idea to do whiskey for Conor.
It is the finest man-made Irish whiskey there is on the market.
I went to Conor and I said, Conor, I have the deal ready for you. This is going to be a $1 billion deal. No messing here.
Artem is a rat, na 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 na, hey, na 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 na.
So Conor offered me $1 million, but I turned it down.
Conor McGregor and his former friend Artem Lobov are currently in a civil dispute regarding ownership of Conor McGregor's Proper 12 whiskey company. Artem Lobov claims he came up with the idea for Conor to create the whiskey brand, and Lobov feels he's entitled to 5% of the $600 million Conor McGregor made when he sold the majority of Proper 12. But Conor says Artem had no involvement with the creation of Proper 12. So who's lying? Who's telling the truth? How did these once best mates get to this point? In this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the timeline of their friendship and their current lawsuit. In 2015, when Conor McGregor was training for the biggest fight in his career versus Jose Aldo, he would begin training with Artem Lobov. Artem Lobov had been living in Dublin for the past 12 years. However, he was born and raised in Russia. Us MMA fans really started to notice Artem Lobov when Artem appeared as a contestant on the UFC's Ultimate Fighter TV series, which Conor was working on as a trainer. Unfortunately, Artem was eliminated from the competition after a loss to Ryan Hall. Conor did choose to bring Artem back in the competition, and Artem's performance led him to signing a contract with the UFC. And the two remained close friends after the Ultimate Fighter had finished. Conor and Artem were always training together, and they seemed like genuinely good friends. In 2018, Conor McGregor would come to Artem Lobov's defense after Khabib Nurmagomedov and Artem got into a heated argument in a New York hotel prior to UFC 223. After seeing footage of the incident, Conor McGregor flew to New York in rage and attacked Khabib's bus windows with a dolly and other equipment. He also injured multiple UFC fighters who were on the bus with Khabib, including Rose Namajunas and Michael Chiesa. Dana White and other board members of the UFC shunned Conor McGregor for his actions, saying they were disgusted with his behavior. Conor was ultimately charged with 3 counts of felony assault and 1 count of criminal mischief. More recently, in 2021, Artem supported Conor in his rematch versus Dustin Poirier, and the two still seem to be very close-knit friends. Artem even shared pictures with Conor on his Instagram account and referred to Conor as a brother. Also in 2021, Conor McGregor sold the majority equity in Proper 12 for $600 million, which McGregor got to keep $150 million of. However, things seemed to change in mid-2022 when Artem Lobov revealed in an interview that he was the one actually behind the Proper 12 whiskey brand.
Proper 12 whiskey story, few people know it, but this was actually my idea. I was the person that came up with the idea to do whiskey for Conor, and the way it happened was when I was in college in my last year of my bachelor's degree, I did a big presentation on the Cooley whiskey distillery. It's an Irish whiskey distillery. And while preparing, and researching for that presentation, I realized how dominant Irish whiskey used to be once upon a time. There used to be hundreds of whiskey distilleries all over Ireland.
Artem made it clear that he felt he was owed some equity in the company due to his part in the creation of the brand.
Conor offered me $1 million, but I turned it down. I didn't accept it. Throughout my career, whenever I would help Conor with camps and everything, he would, offer me to pay for them camps, but I never accepted money from him. I said, look, we've always been friends. We always helped each other. I never paid you for my camps, so I'm not going to accept money from you for camps either. No, with the whiskey, there was a bit of a more to the story. About how that went about and what exactly happened. I don't want to share the full story just yet. I obviously am planning to, I'm hoping that my book does well, and I will tell the whole story in the book. But yeah, I turned down $1 million.
And on November 24th, it was revealed that Artem Lobov was suing Conor McGregor for 5% equity in the Proper 12 whiskey sale. And I know 5% doesn't sound like a lot, but in this case, that 5% is worth $30 million. Conor McGregor would respond to the lawsuit on social media, calling Artem Lobov a rat, and even challenging Artem Lobov to a fight.
Artem is a rat, na 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 na, hey, na 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 na, hey. Artem is a rat, na 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 na, hey, rat. This is a call out to Artem the Fanny, Fairy Pad, Lobov. I'm challenging you to a fight tonight, 10:30 p.m. I'll meet you down at SBG Concord and we'll fight for the whole lot. We'll fight for the whole lot. Going through having lawyers message me about defamation and all this suing and all. You're a little blouse, mate. I'll see you at SBG Concord tonight, 10:30 p.m. and I'll fight you for the whole lot, yeah? Answer this call out, yeah? You little blouse.
A spokesperson for Proper 12 responded to Artem Lobov's claims, calling them false and saying Proper 12 was created, developed, branded, and tirelessly promoted by Conor McGregor. Conor also took to Twitter to call Artem Lobov a rat and a Johnny head, and Conor McGregor was relentless. He repeatedly trashed Artem Lobov on his Twitter. Conor McGregor did score a minor win in court in their ongoing lawsuit. However, more recently, Artem Lobov filed a second lawsuit. He's pretty much saying that Conor McGregor has labeled him a rat, and he's like suing him for defamation or slander. As I was editing this, that lawsuit has also been closed, and legally, Conor McGregor is allowed to label Artem Lobov a rat on social media.
Artem Lobov sought this injunction due to what he said was a barrage of statements, voice notes, videos and photos posted on Conor McGregor's social media accounts in the past month. Neither man was in court today, but in an affidavit on Mr Lobov's behalf, his solicitor Dermot McNamara said his client was particularly concerned about a video posted on the 26th of November on his Twitter account, which has nearly 10 million followers, where he repeatedly sang, "Artem is a rat." In relation to the allegation of harassment, he said that Mr Lobov was seeking an order to essentially stop Mr McGregor being mean to him, adding that the two were MMA fighters who were no strangers to trash talking, and the appropriate remedy for this complaint was to notify Twitter.
I can call you a rat, na 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 na.
I'm not sure how he believed me, whether he took me serious or not at the time with the $1 billion, but I was like, listen, I'm telling you, this is going to change everything. This is going to be a massive deal. So then he says to me, okay, Artem, obviously, you know, my team at Paradigm, you know, you have to bring them in, you know, they look after all my things. So share the deal with them and you stay working with them on the deal and continue there. So that's what I did. You know, I introduced Audi and the rest of the Paradigm team to my deal, introduced them to all the people that I was already working with, and then we got going, you know, and continued working on it, and as you can see, it was a massive success.
But what do you think about the beef between these once best mates? Does Conor owe Artem Lobov equity for his help? Or is Artem just jealous of Conor McGregor's earnings for the sale of Proper 12? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and watch this video next.